Hold on. Intro. It's intro time. Shush. Everyone shut up. What's going on, main characters? It's your boy Talks Too Much with Third Party Studios. Welcome back to the channel. Today with me, we got my co-host, as always, the Cody.
What's up?
And we are here rocking. We have a ton of amazing news for you guys today. It's going to be pretty light, chill, a little bit low-key, but we have some cool stuff to talk about. Blizzard doubling down on DEI. We have Captain America drama that we're going to be breaking down for you. Astartes II trailer has dropped, and that thing looks freaking epic. And as always, we wouldn't be talking Third Party Studios if we weren't talking about Star Wars at least a little bit. Now, obviously, being obviously being a dead brand, they put a chick in it, made it lame and gay, but we will still be breaking it down either way. I didn't mean to rhyme. I'm sorry. I apologize, Cody.
It just happens.
It just happens.
Yeah, it just happens.
YouTube should ban people for like awkwardness, like just like social awkwardness would be a good reason to.
Well,
ban.
I guess you're out.
Yeah, we're fucked. This channel is doomed.
I didn't mean me.
This channel is doomed. With before we get into all of that, if you guys are new, we're on the road to 500 subscribers. We are inching closer and closer to it. If you could help us get there, it would mean a lot. It's free. You can always change your mind, but it's a good way to help support the channel and help us grow. Also, don't forget to smash that like button so we can reach out further into the YouTube algorithm. Comment below what your favorite topic on the stream today will be. And if you haven't already, go check out the merch store with the link in the description. We have some really amazing designs on there. We have the OG Vanguard design from back when we hit the first 150 subscriber milestone. We have several other cool designs, including when we wrapped up last year, the Wrath of Sand and Snow t-shirt design, which I think looks pretty freaking cool. These designs are super comfortable. We have a lot of things, and as always, you guys can represent that you guys are the main characters of the show, and we thank you guys so much for all of your support. It means a ton. So let's get into the real reason you guys came, talking about stories. But before we do, Cody, what have you been up to this week?
I've been playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Are you?
No.
I was like, what?
No, I'm looking at Steam and it just popped up, and that reminded me of Butters in the World of Warcraft episode of South Park.
Butters, please go join the worldwide phenomenon before I kill you.
Yeah, this game dropped like yesterday. That's hilarious.
Anyway, what's weird about that statement though, Cody, is that it's so possible because you play like the most.
I'd be playing Hello Kitty Island Adventures.
You play the most random shit, like the most random. I mean, you tend towards picking towards a genre, but it's always like a game I have never fucking heard of before.
Well, that's because you just play CS:GO and Rivals.
Fair enough, fair enough. And I'm not even like, I wouldn't even make the argument that I'm amazing at them. I mean, I'm godlike, but am I amazing?
Godlike, but not amazing.
Talking about video games.
No, I've just been playing like fucking Mass Effect and shit like that.
Dude, Mass Effect's it's gonna be BioWare is gonna have it's gonna be weird talking about BioWare. In fact, you know what? Maybe we just start with that one real quick, get that one out of the way. With Mass Effect, BioWare silently hit with layoffs amid focus on Mass Effect. So they have a new upcoming Mass Effect project that they've been working on, and BioWare has been they've just been draining their pockets, losing money.
Yeah, I'm not expecting much. I mean, it's already been almost 8 years since Mass Effect Andromeda came out.
Well, and in between here and in between that moment and now, I mean, they did a remake of did they do a remake of the series? Like, didn't they reskin it and like clean it up or something?
They put out the Legendary Edition.
Right.
The game with all the DLCs and whatnot, and cleaned up the first one the most, and then you barely notice it after that. But
the article basically breaks down. So we are from James Lara over at mpfirst.com. BioWare announced downsizing and the reallocation of staff to other parts of EA, leading to confirmed layoffs. Several key developers, including Karen West Weeks and Trick Weeks, have publicly confirmed their departure from BioWare. And BioWare's statement concerning the downsizing omitted the fact that that layoffs were occurring, emphasizing a focus on innovation and reimagining workflows. I love colored language like that when it comes to like layoffs. Like, we're just trying to slim down and be more streamlined. I'm like, what percentage of your staff did you just lose? Like,
we're getting rid of all of the retards in our company.
Well, the thing is that they tend.
That's what I hope it means.
Well, it usually means they fired all the competent people such that the worse and cheaper people can try to carry all the weight and then fail.
fail miserably.
Isn't that far more common in this industry? It feels like it's far more common in this industry.
Yeah, meritocracy doesn't rise.
Not in video games, not yet. I mean, 2024 was a good year for it. I think a lot of these bigger studios.
And a bad year.
Oh yeah, it was a great and bad year.
It was up and down.
It's up and. Do you know if the new Mass Effect game is going to be focusing more on like? Is it going to be a continuation of the universe from where the Shepard story left off? Is it going to be a prequel, a spin-off? What do you think we're talking about with this new project? Has there been any announcements?
The rumors going around right now are it's a continuation. So it would technically be Mass Effect 4.
Okay, which I think if it's done
But I don't know how the fuck they do that because technically all the Mass Effect relays are destroyed. Shepard's dead.
Yep.
And I don't know.
What if there's more secret relays that were never never discovered?
It's gonna be some dumb cop out like they did with Kill the Justice League or whatever.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, all those heroes are just clones.
They were all clones. We got someone. We got Thronkill in the chat saying Anthem was so good. Anthem. Okay, Anthem was the game that EA put out that was it was meant to be a tremendously large open world RPG. But it was competing with Destiny at the time. And I think that you're right that the game actually itself was pretty well received, but I think it's still financially, didn't Anthem financially flop? Cody, can you look into that?
It was because it had a very horrible launch with not that much to do and a lot of fluff. So people kind of abandoned it right away. And as the players abandoned it, so did the company.
Right. Thronkill, thank you for your thank you for the chat though. I appreciate it. Yeah, so Bioware,
yeah, they had this whole roadmap designed for it, and then a few months later they're like, and we're cutting off support for the game.
What really sucks though is that Anthem did look like it was going to be impressive, because keep in mind when Anthem was coming out, this whole weird focusing on the cosmetics and the beauty of the world was still kind of a relatively new concept. I mean, obviously every game designer was like, let's make the game look as good as we can, but a focus on like ray tracing wasn't even ray tracing in video games came out after Anthem. Anthem was still relatively old.
Yeah, I've dipped my toes into it years after it released when it was for $2 or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a decent game. It's kind of fun, but there's nothing really to keep my attention.
The problem,
it's a lot of I think they only have 3 different missions where you're protecting a thing, or finding some things, or defeating a boss or some shit.
Yeah, if you have a bad launch, this industry. I loved. There was a commenter on commenter on one of our videos last year made the comment that in the gaming industry, you have maybe 10 slots at any given moment are occupied by the top games. And if you're going to make a AAA game, it needs to be in there, or you will have lost tremendous sums of money and all this time you'll have invested into the project. So, I mean, Anthem could have been the next Halo, or it could have been the next, I mean, Destiny's a bad example today, but, Destiny 1 came out to be pretty loved, and even Destiny 2 had a positive reception. If you can't occupy the top space, or even get close to the top space at launch, it's hard to imagine you ever coming back. I think maybe I could point to, I want to say For Honor, where it launched with a lot of popularity. The game was just unplayable, so it fell out, but it still survived because it was just such a well-developed game, and still remained. I would argue it's successful as far as reputation, and still having a player count after. Man, how long was For Honor? Was that 10 years ago?
2017, I think.
Yeah, so I mean, so Anthem, I agree.
Anthem wasn't even a financial failure. It gained them $100 million digital revenue, and it sold 5 million copies.
Yeah, I guess it just did well. I mean, I guess I
think the player base just dropped off right away. Everyone bought the game and then played it for a week. It's all right.
Yeah, if you only have a limited amount of missions, I imagine keeping the players interested in it would be kind of difficult to do. Anyway, on the Bioware thing, I just really wanted to touch base on this one since you brought up Mass Effect. It kind of seemed like a good one to jump into right away on. Anything else to add to this one?
I hope there's a whole reworking of the company and they don't fuck up Mass Effect. I was disappointed enough with Dragon Age, even though the gameplay was pretty fun. I would put in like quotes, like it wasn't amazing, but it wasn't shit.
Sure. I
It's
mean,
better than all the other Dragon Ages in my opinion.
good
But
good point.
story and writing was just dog shit.
Doesn't it kind of suck we live in a consumer's market where basically our only ask of studios is don't fuck it up? Like that's our
Well,
only
we're at
ask,
that
right?
point where the only way, like the only path people go nowadays when developing something is like continuing an old IP or remaking it so it's already beloved, and then people are like, all right, just don't fuck it up because everything else is fucked.
All you had to do was tell the same thing over again. You didn't have to change it. No one wanted it changed. We maybe wanted the graphics improved, maybe add some cool mechanics into it for variety and make it feel new, but if you're talking about the story,
Don't change my dark fantasy into Hello Kitty's Island Adventure.
man, I think you're ripping on Hello Kitty a little too hard, man. Hello Kitty is a generational icon.
It's got its audience.
All right, let's jump into
$40 on it. But it's got
$40 fucking dollars. You're telling me this new Hello Kitty game is $40?
Yeah, it looks a lot like what's it? Animal Crossing or some shit like that.
Animal Crossing wasn't Animal Crossing like $12 or like $20? I don't know. I never played Animal Crossing, but I feel like it was dirt cheap. It could be more expensive.
You can get the deluxe edition for $60.
Oh, gross. I hate it. Comes with a dark.
If I just had unlimited wealth, I'd just buy games like this just for the meme.
Just so you could post a negative review, just for no, just so you have a perpetual license to shit on stuff. I would love it. That'd be great. Let's jump into another story, though. I want to keep talking about video games. Call of Duty developer Activision Blizzard doubles down on DEI as U.S. Department of Defense reverses course. So the president of Activision comes out and makes a comment on here, and actually, Grums, the report from it comes from Grums over on X, who the report was leaked to him, and he posted it. So
is this the Blizzard guy or the Activision guy?
This is Activision president Rob Kostick.
Well, I mean, they're kind of one and the same.
They are the same. Yeah, they're Activision Blizzard now, so they are one and the same. I don't know how the internal structures work as far as who reports to whom, what companies, etc. But we need to kind of put this part of the story on pause for just a second because we will circle back to it. But Grums was actually talking about this Grums was actually talking about the president coming out and saying this a few days ago. And this is actually his original posting on it. Activision Blizzard president doubles down on DEI ESG. Hundreds of employees send likes. In an all-company message, Rob Kostick reaffirms the company commitment to disastrous, non-merit policies that have destroyed studios nonstop in 2024. We'll get to the.
I don't think that's objective for reporting there, Grubs.
Well, I mean, he honestly, I think.
I agree with it 100%. It's just funny.
Well, it seems pretty factual. So I would actually make the case. So nothing in here seems. I mean, maybe the framing, but I do think he points out that yes, it did destroy a bunch of studios, we're into the mid double digits for number of studios that got shut down just in 2024 alone. Reported it was insane. Now, and I'm not talking about a guy who purchases an LLC, starts up a studio, and then just never does anything with it, closes it after a year to file on taxes. We're talking about studios that had at least one project under their belt or were mid into a relatively respected project. So I mean, the number was not small. And then you have, I'm actually not, I'm not terribly surprised that Activision Blizzard is doubling down on DEI. I am more surprised that other big companies haven't doubled down. So many companies reverse course immediately once the politics swayed against them. And
yeah, because they're not really true believers in the DEI. It's more of a cash grab kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently the CEO or whoever Rob Chapek is really believes in this stuff.
Yeah, he's a big fan. Well, actually, I was thinking about how best to talk about this one because there's two stories in this that correlate a little bit, and I'm trying to figure out which one to talk next about. But you know what? Before we do, let's point to what we're talking about here. Let's actually read from the original post that Rob put out. So from Rob at the team, Here we go. Given the headlines around diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) programs in the workplace, it's no surprise that questions have come up about what the future looks like at Activision and whether our focus and priorities around DEI have shifted. To be clear, this work continues to be extremely important in everything that we do. It's important to our games, our culture, and who we are as a company. Can I just point out the fact that Activision Blizzard Activision is the same company responsible for the Modern Warfare 2 lobbies? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like
the greatest era of gaming. You mean?
Yeah, they are responsible for the greatest era of gaming. Single-handedly, they are the best. Sorry, I was doing the.
I learned so many new words then.
So many new slurs, and none of it was. I mean, all the slurs and stuff you were saying, like the gamers on the internet who were saying that shit were like just like trash talking. But I mean, the gaming community is pretty pretty diverse, generally speaking. It's not like...
Yeah, it wasn't a bunch of dudes in clan fucking outfits playing Modern Warfare 2.
But honestly, that would make an amazing skit. Like, that would be. That would make an amazing, like, Shane Gillis skit if he just went on and him and a few other comedians all put on their white hoods and he just pan back and forth.
Everyone comes over for a LAN party or whatever. He's just got a bunch of hoods at the door. It's like, all right, get your robe and hood. Go game.
I wish we were talented filmmakers that could do that ourselves, because this feels like gold. This feels like object comedy. So the continuing on the
statement. We're gonna go crush some inner city kids.
Let's go get them. Our inclusive growth team has made great strides in helping us weave inclusivity in all aspects of business. Our strategy here remains focused on enhancing the experiences of all employees, providing exceptional experiences to players globally, and providing accessible opportunities to those interacting with our company and brand. I look forward to all great work to continue, etc. But yeah, Grums was also pointing out...
I don't think he actually means enhancing the experience of all employees if a certain employee has a different worldview.
Well, to be fair, they'll never hire that employee in the first place because that employee would be white. So there's no way that guy's getting hired.
He's closeted.
Fuck that white guy. That guy's a piece.
Closeted Republican.
That white guy's a piece of shit. Fuck him. Honestly, all of this... Activision Blizzard has survived so many boycotts. I think they're just too insulated. I really don't think they're going anywhere. I mean, what would it take to...
they have the money to take the hit, too.
Yeah. They're just so insulated. Like, Disney is... Disney can't really survive this consistently, perpetually. Like, they've lost so much of their, like, stock value that they obviously can't continue to survive in this climate. But they're
almost more like a parent company, like Monopoly, where it's like Marvel has their own thing, Lucasfilm has their own thing, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So it's like Disney as a whole now. But
well, and Disney, like, if Disney needed to survive, quote unquote, they would just cut off an arm, right? They would just cut off Marvel. They would cut off and sell Marvel. They would cut off and sell their streaming platform. They would sell... Because Disney Plus has the rights to ESPN and National Geographic.
Well, yeah, Disney owns like 60 different companies.
Right, that's what I mean. It's like, rather than like Disney won't go under, they will just sell off IPs. But I mean, hell, if Warner Brothers can continue to keep going, like I don't know how much debt Warner Brothers has. They might not have debt right now, but I mean,
they lost $200 million with Kill the Justice League, so
good. Fuck you, you pieces of shit.
But have you seen what Call of Duty is doing? You know how like Black Ops 6 drops, and it's pretty down to earth. No crazy skins or anything.
Right.
They've totally backtracked on that now.
No, really? I have not touched it in a minute. It's been a while since
they got like a streamer gun or something for like likes and whatnot. It's very gay.
A streamer gun?
Yeah. It like fills your screen with a bunch of shit. I don't know.
Oh, I hate that so much. All right, well,
it's pretty gay.
Send me a post in Discord. I want to see, message me a post in Discord. I want to pull that up for the stream. But to continue on this story, we got to talk about the next thing. So as part of this continuation of, after the president put puts out this comment, doubles down on DEI. You have Blizzard technical artist calls for political violence against Trump supporters before disabling online presence. So you actually pointed this out when I was showing you the story that like, oh, look, another person who called to murder everybody and then immediately vanishes from the internet. It's like, yeah, that's pretty typical. But
it's like, oh, I said something bad. Now I got to private everything.
Right. So Kyle Jacob Hickey, the what was his position? Technical artist. Sorry, technical artist. Just on his Facebook post goes and says, "Kill your local MAGA," and I love it. It's like this is who you are. This is who you are. You're not like able to hide this. Like you can hide your Facebook, you can close everything, and I mean, good. I mean, go bury yourself for a minute and just come back once you've maybe collected some sanity. But this is, I mean, these absolute call to kill, call to violence is absolutely outside of what's allowed, what's possible. You shouldn't be saying that shit. And if you want to do that, people have the right to see you. Like you obviously shouted it out into the internet. What the fuck did you think was going to happen?
Right.
The internet like spoke back. So yeah, what would this be? So Grum's replied to that, say Blizzard technical artist and associate art director of Gearbox wishes death on 50% of America in a post likes to their public Facebook. So and then he links back to his original article on, or his original posting on Rob's workplace announcement. So Activision Blizzard seems to be a place where I don't know if it'd be safe to be someone like you, specifically you, Cody.
Oh yeah.
If you walked in there,
white ginger.
Yeah, you are everything that they hate. You are everything they hate. The red hair, the white skin. Ew.
I'm surprisingly okay with it.
Well, and honestly, like you would probably just say like we don't take those seriously and we just let that one go. But that's one of those things where we need to make a determination about how we're going to be approaching these types of things going forward as a community. It's like, is this the kind of thing that people are going to start getting arrested for when they are literally encouraging their communities to kill? It's not like,
I mean, in the UK you will, not for saying kill Omega. You could say like kill white people too, and they won't care. But any other group that you put in there,
yeah, you're
fucked.
Well, that's
replace Mega with anything else.
Well, now that the political winds have shifted, I mean, like, do you think that authorities will start reacting to posts like this or things like this online? I'm curious how I would feel about it because I am more of a free speech absolutist on this topic. I don't believe these words are. I don't believe this combination of words is the thing that like people should be like put in jail for. I think that it's the action itself. That's where my mind goes. I think the person who does the action is accountable to doing the action. I don't think this hurt anybody. Like no one got hurt.
I think more of a social shunning is a better way to go.
God damn it! Doesn't this feel like we're becoming like? Well, no, we're not because we're not worse. We're better than them.
No, I don't know. I don't think anything will happen. I don't think anything should happen.
Right.
But I mean, in this country, it won't happen. UK, it will.
Yeah, it's
Australia. They just arrest people for saying shit on the internet.
You wished happy birthday to a chinchilla? That thing's extinct or going extinct. To the gulags.
Remember Count Dankula? He got his girlfriend's pug to do
that is still one of the funniest videos on the internet, and I will not be convinced otherwise. That is still hilarious, and I love it. Can you imagine?
You had to go through so much legal shit because of that?
Yeah.
Parted.
Dude, that was such an amazing trick. It's like the Third Reich would have been so impressed. They would have been like, oh, these are pug.
It's just a joke. It's just a joke.
It's just a joke. Not my pug.
It's my girlfriend's pug. Arrest her.
She made me do it.
Arrest the dog. You did it.
I was just following orders.
Gotta euthanize the dog now.
Oh, well, honestly, Activision Blizzard, I think that, so they're going to be doubling down. They're staying with it. It's what they're going to be doing. I think,
yeah. I'm kind of out on like all their shit too. Like, I'm not playing Black Ops anymore. I think it's not on my PlayStation because it takes up 180 gigs.
It is tremendous in size and scale, isn't it? It's just nuts how big that freaking game is.
Yeah,
Too
I
big.
burnt out on it pretty quick. So.
Well, I did too, and really, it was surprising. I was really surprised how quickly I burnt out on it because there was a lot about it I really liked. It was the maps. I kept joining and having just no fun on the maps, even though I thought the mechanics were actually great.
Yeah, I was basically play like 3 maps that you enjoyed and then ignore the rest of the game.
Right. All right, we should jump into another topic and keep it going here. So, we got Captain America, more Captain America news, and this thing is coming out soon too. It's not gonna be that much longer before we have
2
to
weeks.
go. Yeah, we're gonna have to go review this piece of shit.
Oh fuck, that's right. I gotta watch it.
Okay, to be fair, I'm gonna go in there with an open mind. I'm not gonna go in there just to come out and shit on it. But I mean, I'm not excited about it. I just want to go in there and be surprised, impressed. I'll go in there as neutral as I can.
I'm gonna go in there drunk
and turn it into a drinking game. Hey, diversity, drink. We got
yeah.
Well, this
anytime he's like mentions that he's not Steve Rogers or whatever, you got to drink.
Right. Anytime it doesn't. Yeah. Any cameo, got to drink. Anytime you say you got to do better, Senator, you got to drink. Well, he's gonna be talking to the president, so you got to do better, president, and then
you got a president better, president.
You got a president better, president. You got a senator better, senator. I'm sorry, guys. I am totally fumbling the fuck out of this intro right now for this, but we've been talking about Captain America this last week quite a bit, and it all kind of revolves around the star, Anthony Mackie, who, for the longest time, I have given so much fucking rope on this one to try to be like, just give us a good performance, do your best, like, give us something that we, like, be the reason we want to go see a new Marvel movie. Like, be that. Like, stand up, say that there are things your character wouldn't do, like, try to communicate to the writers that it could be better, and then do your part as an actor and a big part of this project to make it better. And it just seems like we can't fucking get that from this guy. And anyway, the story from this week is when he was telling a European audience that Captain America does not represent America or Americans. And it's a deeper conversation. There's an actual quote in here, but I think we'll just listen to...
Go up a little bit. Oh, never mind.
Well, I figure we just listen to what he had to say first. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I'm going to do the audio thing, so hold on.
For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term, America should be one of those representations. Like, it's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity. Someone who is trustworthy and dependable. It's kind of, this is kind of like an aspect of a dream coming true. When I was a kid, all of us as actors, I believe, want to get back to that day before someone told you no. When you look out your door and you see a 5-year-old kid with a stick and he's slaying dragons to save the princess in the tower, that kid really believes there are dragons out there. That stick is really a sword and he's really trying to save that princess. And then one day somebody told him, no, there are no dragons, that's not a sword, and that princess is not there. And all of his little dreams were dashed. So, as an actor, I feel like our job is to get back to the day where we see that dragon and we slay that dragon to save that princess. And that's kind of what this movie was for me.
But the princess is now a dude.
So I let the video run on a little long. Yeah, you're right. It's a man, baby. So I let the video run on a little long, but I just didn't want to be accused of taking him out of context on this because the quote that everyone called out immediately was Captain America represents a lot of things, represents a lot of different things. I don't think the term America should be one of those representations. So people immediately got pissed off about that because Captain America literally was meant to represent the ideals of America. And the reason this is so frustrating is because we had this idea of America where you had a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity, and we were meant to be the country that embodied that. And all of a sudden, you have people who are like, no, that's not who this is. This is obviously Captain Whole World. This is Captain Planet. This is Captain
it's
Humanity.
Captain, like, it's the ideal of America. It doesn't like represent the current America or the like this year America or last year America, whatever. It's the ideal of America.
And
but I think it almost sounds like he misspoke. He does apologize. We'll get to that, but he doesn't apologize for saying that he even misspoke.
Exactly.
Like he could have said, I don't think the term America should be the only one of those representations instead of should be one.
Right. And to expand on what you're saying, I agree. I think that if it was better phrased, and obviously there's like it's exclusionary how the way it's phrasing is exclusionary. He's framing it in a way that cuts out America and then instead replaces that with these entirely global ideas like honor, integrity, dignity. Like these things do exist universally across all cultures and all peoples. I mean,
It comes off saying that like America doesn't have these three things.
Yeah,
honor, dignity.
It replaces America with these words as if they're not as if they're not a part of each other.
So I think Captain America does represent America, being so his name is fucking Captain America. He's dressed as the American flag. He's got a fucking A on his head.
Exactly, and so it was frustrating. A lot of people were getting pissed off about this and made a lot of videos and reactions to it. So it's not like we can't find the reaction to this post. And then Anthony Mackie did come back, and in that same conversation, Captain America Brave New World star Anthony Mackie downplays character's race in shocking about face for Disney Marvel. And this is the way this article is framed makes it as if it's Disney's position, but it's really just Anthony's position on this one. And I'll get to the quote here. I wonder if there was a video attached to this. I don't think there was for this part.
No, there isn't.
So I'll just go to the quote directly. I should get a better mouse. So in the same conversation, speaking about... So Anthony Mackie... Let me make sure I get the whole quote. Okay. I feel like it's just as important for black kids to see Black Captain America as it is for white kids. Growing up, one of my favorite superheroes was green. It wasn't about race or anything. It was about him being a good guy trying to do the right thing. And it continues on...
You just you contradicted yourself in that one sentence.
Well, yeah, but here's where this is where I think I'm getting I agree with him the best. It's very important for kids of all races to be able to watch something and have someone to look up to no matter what they look like, and see that package comes with a good human being as opposed to what they've been perceived as by everyone else. So that's the line I think where I find the most agreement with Anthony on.
Well, yeah.
He seems to be all over the place a little bit in this conversation. I don't know if it's the language thing or because it's he's in Europe, but all in all, it's...
I don't know, but we've been talking about this forever, and I think everyone kind of has, is that you don't... The person on screen doesn't have to be a fucking ginger in order for me to identify with him.
Exactly.
So last week, I grew up with Jackie Chan movies, Jet Li movies. I listened to 50 Cent. I mean...
Yeah.
It was all over the place.
Guys, picture that. A ginger, like a high school ginger in his Pontiac, just jamming out to 50 Cent. Walking down just driving down the street, windows down. You pull up next to this awkward white ginger kid, and he's just blaring 50 Cent. And you know.
It's an 81 Honda. How dare you?
But you're right. Yeah, you don't have to see who you are on the screen. You don't have to see the same person who looks exactly like you on the screen. That's what made, I think, Master Chief so fucking iconic, was that literally nobody saw themselves inside of Master Chief's helmet, like what he looked like. Literally no one looked like him, but everyone related.
I know you're gonna wiggle through that sentence. It's like no one can see themselves in Master Chief.
Yeah,
it's like I can see myself in Master Chief.
Yeah, of course you could. Yeah, classic, classic the Cody. But so Anthony Mackie he's covering. I do think this specific stream of comments lends credit to the idea that he probably just misspoke in the original criticism or in the original concern that people were talking about. And then just later we got the article from Anthony Mackie. So this is again from That Park Place, following up on the story. Anthony Mackie walks back comments on Captain America, but stops short of saying he represents America. So we'll just read his statement. So Anthony Mackie puts out a statement. We'll just read that, and then the audience can kind of see, like, determine for themselves where they land on this.
Why is it in Comic Sans?
I believe that this is on. I think this is on I think this is on his Instagram. Well, I guess it probably is on. I can't tell. I don't know where this post comes from. Maybe Anthony Mackie has taken to social media and apparently, yeah,
Yeah, whatever.
not obvious where the statement came from. But from Anthony Mackie, let me be clear about this. I am a proud American, and taking on the shield of a hero like Cap is the honor of a lifetime. I have the utmost respect for those who serve and have served our country. Cap has universal characteristics that all people over the world can relate to. I guess you still didn't say,
except for America.
yeah, like you still refuse to just say that he represents America, but I get it. Like, this is so, like, digging into the weeds on this one, like really trying to, like, interpret intent and trying to understand, like, where his mind is, that it's really frustrating and difficult. So I will just leave it at saying that
I like Anthony Mackie. He's always been kind of a down-to-earth dude. Like, you watch a bunch of his interviews.
Yeah.
Seems like a stand-up guy with, basic American values. But
I
misspeaking or intentional or what, or just because he was in Rome, I don't know.
yeah, all in all,
It's not going to affect my opinion of the fucking movie.
no, it won't. I think for some people it might. Like, if people heard only the first two parts of this and didn't stick around to find out, like, that he did backtrack and he did try to, like, course correct on this, and he does have positions that are more lukewarm or just neutral on, like, race in movies or representation in films, I think people would be a little bit more open to it. But there are people who are going to be like, oh, the new Captain America is a fucking commie? All right, fuck this. I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm
Commie
out.
bastard.
So, yeah.
I don't know. I think in the original interview, you can almost tell that, like, right after he says it, he knows he kind of fucked up, and his word salad in his way back into, like, trying to get out of it.
He was trying to tell, and then he told a nice little, like, anecdote or quip about the whole, you're a child trying to slay a dragon, and I get it. Like, you're an actor, you're trying to just get through this interview and get onto the next thing, and you're probably trying to do a good job by it, but at the same time, but honestly, it was so unnecessary to even go there. Like, if you wanted to say Captain America represents more than just America, he also represents these ideals that apply to everyone, that would have been a better way of phrasing that. It's like,
right.
It's like, but instead he said Captain America doesn't represent America, he represents the ideals instead. It's like, it's frustrating.
He had foot in the mouth syndrome.
Yeah. So I don't want to hold that against him. I think generally his reputation has been pretty middle of the road, and so but this movie is going to be really rough to stomach either way. I'm
just glad they cut 40 minutes out of it.
Yeah, it could have been long as shit. In another follow-up article, we have Anthony Mackie tells the Access Media to chill the fuck out over Red Hulk Trump comparisons. So this was just, at the time of this recording, this came out just yesterday, so it's brand new news. Captain America Brave New World star Anthony Mackie tells the press to chill the fuck out when it comes to comparisons between the film's president, Thaddeus Ross, a.k.a. Red Hulk, and U.S. President Trump. So, I mean, you knew that the villain comparisons with Trump were going to continue, or just, like, get even worse. Like, there's these people have only one outlet, and it's media. And so you thought that they were just not going to shit on Trump at every opportunity they had?
Right. There's a president in the movie. It's obviously going to dig at President Trump or something.
Right. And
or be a President Trump stand-in.
Right. So, I mean, well, that's what happened with, what was it? Wonder Woman, right? The new
That was definitely, yeah. I mean, they gave Pedro blonde hair and all that shit.
Yeah, it was so overt, so obvious and blatant. Yeah. Let me get through some of these other comments that Anthony made here, and we'll just go through. So, Captain America Brave New World, Mackie made the statement while highlight all the segment. Mackie made the statement while defending Brave New World as literally the best movie it can be, emphasizing that it stays in the lines of Marvel, it stays in the lines of Captain America, and it's fun, it's big. But when pressed by Esquire about growing speculations that Ford's President Ross, who transforms into a volatile rage monster, Red Hulk, was meant to serve as a Trump analog. Mackie shut it down. I hope as a country we're tired of all the political jousting, Mackie said. Let's just go to the movies and chill the fuck out. We could have made this motherfucker yellow, and it would have been a problem. I love that. I love that he jumped on that.
I would have made him orange.
Yeah, just he could have made
orange man bad.
Orange Hulk. Yeah. Hollywood is just never going to stop like hitting on Trump with this stuff. It's a big part of like the story we covered last week where we were talking about the Hollywood ambassadors. Now, those people are just going to maybe make more films will be produced that are just better quality as a result of the political ambassadors to Hollywood with Stallone, Mel Gibson, John Voight. But we're not. It's not like the rest of Hollywood is going to stop making movies that shit on the right or make everyone on the conservative side look like absolute trash.
I don't even know where they would have gotten like, oh, Red Hulk is President Trump or whatever. Because in like all the marketing, we don't really know shit about President Ross in the movie.
Yeah, we don't know a lot. Well, and there were rumors that we didn't really cover that hard last week that Red Hulk is only relevant in the movie for like 5 minutes. So we don't know that that's true. It could be entirely wrong, but I mean there are articles being posted, stories being talked about that are rumors saying that his involvement in the film is going to be minor. So maybe if that's true, then what's the point of comparing him at all? Like the fact that he's
doubt it. I mean, because they've had to reshoot the movie twice, and Harrison Ford doesn't like doing shit these days. So I bet they didn't really get him in for a whole lot.
Yeah, exactly. Harrison Ford, yeah. Being as expensive as he is, that was going to be a tough one to chew on. I don't know what the point of, like, if he's going to be in there for a short window of time, what's the point of throwing him in there at all? He's just, like, he doesn't draw a huge audience anymore. His involvement is minor. Red Hulk is not a character that I think most normies give a shit about. I mean, you're just putting a third Hulk character. No, would this be a fourth? In She-Hulk, because you have obviously Mark Ruffalo, then you have She-Hulk, then you have Red Hulk. Was Hulk's child Scar? Is it Scar? I think.
He was in like the last scene of She-Hulk. Yeah.
Yeah. So Hulk's kid. So I mean, this will be the fourth Hulk character, and we already know how popular Hulk is on his own. Every single Hulk film is a one-off. Every one of them with a brand new actor.
I know they can't make. Well, there's licensing issues where they can't make like his own movie. That's why Mark Ruffalo didn't get one.
Right.
But apparently there are rumors that he's going to be in Spider-Man 4 as well. So
I don't know if okay, cool. I mean, it would be a movie. It would
it'll be something on the screen.
It'll definitely be people acting or trying to act. All right. So summarize this up. I mean, Captain America 4, we're still going to be going and doing the review. It's just more drama around it. And honestly, the Anthony Mackie thing kind of comes to a draw on where I stand with him. I don't think this moved the needle for me very much. My reaction initially was, dude, that's fucked up. But then it just kind of settled down as I was like, oh, he just fucked it. He just fumbled his words around too much and just got tongue twisted. Yeah. But
that's my opinion on it too.
Yeah. All right.
I don't think he actually means like Captain America doesn't represent Captain America.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Let's jump into another story here. Let's cover the Astartes II trailer. I am excited for this. Dude, you've seen this trailer? This thing looks fucking epic. So
I have not actually watched it.
Okay, so let's go to the trailer. Okay, so Astartes II trailer drops. Warhammer 40k fans cheer as beloved fan animation gets an official sequel. Yeah, and so let's talk about the context around this a little bit before we jump into the trailer. So, fan animator Syama Patterson, known on YouTube as Digital Bones, has been working with Warhammer, with GW's animation team to create the Astartes sequel. So, official Warhammer streaming site in 2026. So it's still going to be a ways out, and we'll read up on the official announcement.
Dropping a trailer pretty early.
Oh, I mean, I think. So it's beginning of 2025. So all of 2025, it could be all of 2026. I mean, that's kind of like what The Dark Knight did. You remember the Dark Knight trailers were first coming out, like felt like years in advance of that movie?
Nah, I don't really remember.
Anyway, Yeah, let's jump into the trailer. I think you guys will love this one. Okay. Gonna do some sound stuff.
Fucking music, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The music drops hard. The first shot is epic. You have this like epic sci-fi space metropolitan area. You get the shoulder shot of the marine or the space marine. It's epic as hell,
Being
man.
a hive city.
It could could it be? It maybe. I'm not sure. I think you see an angel down here in the very bottom, in the kind of center middle.
You want to full screen that?
Yeah, I'm concerned about YouTube. But yeah, in the center, in the light in the center middle, you could kind of see the angel like kind of on the shoulder of the building there. I will zoom in, but I'm worried about just well, we're fine. We're fine. I'm overthinking it. All right.
It's fine.
We'll keep it going.
More Warhammer badass stuff.
More Warhammer badass stuff. Dude, that shot where it's like that the little lights and then all of a sudden the fire breaks out like in the middle. Where was that shot? I want to do. This shot was freaking epic. I loved this shot.
Fuck.
Whatever, like I don't know if those are orcs. In the trailer, you see orcs and you see Tyranids for sure. I didn't catch what the other ones were, if there were more of them, but this shot is fucking epic.
Yeah, so this is going to be an actual show where the first Astartes was like a 15-minute short film on YouTube.
Yeah, it's going to be so fucking dynamic and epic.
Made by the one guy. Well, now they got like a team, so.
Yeah, Warhammer or Games Workshop is giving him support, which is good. I mean, that's the thing you need to do. If you got good, talented people out there, you need to bring them into the fold. That's what you got to do. So let's keep going here. Check audio quick. Sorry,
it's like peak masculinity.
Yeah, this is like the testosterone bombing like is over the charts.
You got a boner for murder.
Yeah, you got the orcs showing up. You got the orcs going hard and just kicking the shit out of this guy. And I love that they lingered on this so that you knew this guy lost. You know that Space Marine lost. I love what they're doing with like the mobility suits. I think that's fantastic. I love the warship they have in here. I mean, this is all epic as hell. I mean,
it could just be an epic ass trailer and the show comes out and it's super DEI.
Oh god, I would hope not. But the other, the way that they're doing the visuals in this are just fantastic. I was trying to point to
cinematography is great.
I can't really capture a good. I mean, the speed of these shots are so fast. I can't really stop at a good moment in time to capture these angles. But yeah, this was one of my favorite shots when I first reacted to the trailer on my own. It was so freaking good. And yeah, we just got a little bit left to go. I think we'll just keep going here. Hold on. Dude, that's so fucking good. That was so amazing.
I love that music.
Like yeah, the music.
There are all sorts of different factions of Space Marines too.
Yeah, they covered a lot of them, and I mean, I couldn't break down like who was there in what order, but this just covers so many bases. It was cool to see the Tyranids like on screen. It was cool. It was really cool to see the orcs on screen. That was something I was really excited about. And then you do have a pretty good variety of factions that are showing up in this too. And then the article here from That Park Place links to the official Warhammer 40K site, where this trailer came with a announcement we will read through as well. But
wasn't there already a show? But was it called Astartes? Because there's a show on Warhammer. I don't know if it's actually called.
No. Fudge. Warhammer Plus. You should look for that, because no, it's not this. But I think the article might point to it as well. Because there was some. You and I talked about it before we started, which is frustrating because it's on the tip of my tongue. It's that, yeah, there is a new show. I'm just wondering if there was anywhere in the article talking about it. Doesn't appear to be. No, I know what you're talking about. Shoot, I can't believe I'm gonna space this. Sorry. Man, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get it. But yes, you're right. There is another show out that looked identical to this. So I was originally getting them confused when looking at the two of them in comparison to each other. But I will have to go look up the actual show itself. I kept seeing it on Amazon Prime. So that's where I was getting that's where I saw the other show for the first time. I'll see if I can find the answer to that really quick, 'cause I would like to just know.
I'm looking it up. There's a lot of like Warhammer stuff and whatnot. I'm not seeing Astartes on here.
Well, it wasn't a Astartes. It was some like it was a Warhammer show or series, but it was not Astartes. Oh, Secret Level. Got it. Secret Level is the other.
That's not what I was talking about. There's a show on Warhammer TV already.
Oh, I'm not sure about that. You'll have to dig into that one. But yeah, Secret Levels was out, and that was the one that threw me off.
Yeah, that's just one episode of Secret Level where they got Warhammer.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
All right. So from the Warhammer community website, we have feast your eyes on the glorious new teaser trailer for the much anticipated animation at Astartes II. And it goes on to say, did you think we forgot about this? That's fair. It has been a while since we've had real news on the project. Well, now you can rest assured that while these things take time, work is well and truly underway on the animation. The Warhammer Studio and the creator of the original Astartes animation, Sema, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, have been working closely together, blending his incredible flair for action and storytelling with decades of Warhammer 40K lore, and even some recent lore that includes female custodies, to unleash a compelling, grimdark story. I added a part into that. It wasn't really there. This teaser trailer is not actually clips from the new animation, instead showing a compilation of shots that represent the former lives of the characters that will appear in this show. There's a pretty unsubtle hint at the end as to the nature of the final story. We'll leave you to speculate and start putting the pieces together yourselves. Astartes II is set to land in 2026. We know it's still a little ways off, but it'll be worth it. All right, yeah, and then just kind of references to other projects that they have, so you can go check up on them. But I am
that, and you got Henry Cavill's coming out sometime.
And yeah, I imagine Henry Cavill's project. I think they only announced that they had agreed on a story. They had agreed on a setting and story, and so they were going to start beginning development. But
it's probably gonna be like 2027.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while out for that. And this one's gonna be a while out too. But 2025, 6, 7, 8, it's going to be we're entering an era where Warhammer 40K is going to be telling stories on the silver screen in a lot of really epic ways.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the success of Space Marine too. It's becoming a lot more popular with normies and the mainstream audience.
Yeah, and all it took was them talking about female custodies. That's all it took. All of a sudden, all these huge projects start going off and going big.
Maybe they're playing 4D chess. We just didn't see it.
They slipped on a banana peel and did a quadruple backflip and stuck the landing. Yeah. Honestly, fine. Whatever. It's their it's their IP. The fandom has to decide if that's...
Give me good entertainment, then whatever.
Exactly. That's the trade-off. If you tell stories with good female characters, I'm fine with that. That's what it is. It's not my... Yeah, that one's not my fight. All right.
Here's what it is.
Yeah, let's cover one last story before wrapping up here. We got one more to talk about, and that's going to be, you guessed it, we're going to be talking Star Wars, motherfudges.
What's Star Wars, Precious?
Star Wars, buddy, is a sorry, I did what I could with that. Star Wars is a sci-fi space opera that takes place in space. And
Wasn't that only popular in the late 70s?
Yes.
Yes and no.
No, so
It
obviously
depends on what kind of Star Wars fan you are.
I love how we're failing to describe what Star Wars is. Like we obviously
It's wizards in space, Morty.
it's wizards in space. Okay, so James Mangold says that he doesn't want his Star Wars movie to be handcuffed by George Lucas's lore. This sentence
Well,
alone.
That's a red flag.
Yeah, I'm like, this is the thing. Like, if you're going to be responsible for an IP, and you're not at all interested in telling a consistent story with the rest of the lore and narrative, why don't you just go create your own brand new universe? I mean, to all the things we have to say about Zack Snyder's failed Blood Moon project, we do have to give credit to the fact that he didn't actually participate in Star Wars and like ruin Star Wars more. Now, I think he just
made his own Star Wars, and it was horrible.
Yeah. Now, imagine if it was good. Imagine how
take all that. Imagine if it was really fucking good.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like.
You mean Star Wars back in the day?
Well, what I'm saying is that if you have the capacity to tell a story and you want to tell a story that is different than the IP you're responsible for shepherding, then you should go and create your own thing. And while I understand that Blood Moon was, or is it Rebel Moon? It's Rebel Moon. Why'd you let me say Blood Moon?
Rebel.
Okay.
I just didn't feel like correcting you.
Fair enough. Rebel Moon. Sorry. For Rebel Moon, for all the negative things you can say about the show and it being bad, he tried to create something brand new and it just didn't work. And I think some of the reason why it didn't work is because Zack Snyder, at the time he was doing Rebel Moon, was really starting to lose popularity because he lost out on the Snyderverse. People had their problems with a few other projects he was doing, but honestly, I
know what his problem is.
Yeah?
He's good at adapting things. He's really bad at making his own original stuff.
Fair enough. He should have like co-directed with someone else then. He should have found a director who can create stuff. Just gave him the story that he built and the world he wanted to make, and then just say, here, go fix it. Go make it. Make a dream. I'll give you money.
Make your dream.
But I mean, that's the point, right? Like the whole reason like I wanted to do third-party studios was to not only like to tell our own new stories, but to encourage other people to tell their own new stories. Like we have a bunch of projects being worked on behind the scenes, and that's what I do respect that Snyder went out and made his own project, and it failed, and that happens. I hope he tries again with something else.
I don't care if he does. He can just fall into obscurity for all I care.
That's fine too.
But like James Mangold, it's like, okay, now the number one thing I'm looking forward to with his movie is what kind of lore-breaking shit that he's gonna put in it.
Yeah, he's gonna make. Oh, what would he do? He'd make triangle lightsabers. You just hold it from the middle of a triangle.
It's almost been done, I guess, with the what the fuck was her name?
Oh,
Inquisitors. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah. They had that.
Yeah, and they had that dual-bladed saber that could also let you fly around like a helicopter because that's how light works.
And sabers work, obviously. But this whole movie,
Dave Filoni's supposed to be like the Star Wars guy where he knows all the lore, and he's just letting everyone just do whatever the fuck they want.
What's the name of the actor who voiced Starkiller?
Sam Witwer. He should be the one in charge of fucking Star Wars.
We should put him in charge of Star Wars because he's lit. Like, you should like.
He cares.
Yeah. Why is
he's like the Henry Cavill of the Star Wars community.
I don't know if that passion for how the story and universe unfolds translates to being able to create film. But what I do know for a 100% absolute statement of fact with no opinion behind it whatsoever is that these motherfuckers can't make films.
No, they cannot. Or TV shows. So I know that he's not competing against against titans of industry here. Like, I think he'd be fine. I think I'd be much more willing to give him money to go make a project like this than keep handing it over to these guys who keep killing Star Wars. Now, Star Wars is already dead.
Stop.
Yeah, it's
He's already dead.
Stop kicking him. He's already dead.
But I mean, that's
Well,
what,
like Kathleen Kennedy said, she's not leaving Lucasfilm until she has like a hit. So
That is-
I'm like, should we just all go and watch the next movie so we can get some good stuff
jeez,
afterwards?
that might be. Oh my god! If we had if we had a contract with her that said that she would leave if we just gave money to Star Wars, I would do it. I would spend money to
Right.
get her fuck out of there.
I'll go to your shitty film just so we can call it a success, and you can go home, and we can start having good stuff again.
Because she keeps putting a chick in it and making it lame and gay. It's bullshit.
South Park is always right.
South Park nailed it, man. Kathleen Kennedy is up her own ass. But I mean, talk
Yeah,
about
Star Wars is dead, and no one gives a fuck about the next 3 movies coming out.
right, and but talk about fucking job security. I mean, that is some.
You can literally do no wrong
You can-
unless you're lesbian headlamp.
yeah. Oh, yeah. We got to talk about. Okay, so we'll just shift over to that article. It's a part of the same story. Lesbian headlamp abruptly departs Netflix project Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo amid Acolyte ratings fallout. So the Acolyte continues to just. Oh, that just continues to
This
hurt
show
them.
won't fucking die and get out of the news.
No, it really won't. Okay, so the Acolyte numbers disaster. Where do we go from here? Okay, so the Acolyte catastrophic failure by numbers. Despite an aggressive marketing campaign and significant media backing, the Acolyte suffered a stunning decline in viewership over its run. According to Illuminate's 2024 film and TV reports, the Acolyte accumulated 2.7 billion minutes of watch time. At first glance, it may sound substantial, but context is everything. For comparison, this number wasn't even close to the top 10 streaming originals of the year. So we got other series on the show. What was the number to beat? It was 2.7 billion. You have Fool Me Once at 12 billion, Bridgerton at 11, Landman was only out for like the last month. And it got
I know.
nearly-
And it's on Paramount Plus with a significantly less subscriber base.
and it got nearly 10. And it got nearly 10 billion. Tulsa
It's a good
King.
fucking show.
Tulsa King got 9. The Gentleman got 8. Fallout got almost 8. Oh my, yeah. So Fallout got almost 8, and the Acolyte got 2 and change. Like,
Is Love Is Blind? Is that a blind dating show on Netflix? Please tell me they're all blind.
I hope so.
I love these fucking dating shows. Like, let's put a bunch of autistic people together and see how it turns out.
Okay, so the lowest ranked show on that list, Netflix Love Is Blind, amassed 7.3 billion minutes viewed, nearly 3 times the total viewership of The Acolyte. Even more embarrassing, Netflix dominated the rankings with 7 of the top 10 slots, while Amazon Prime and Paramount Plus took the remaining positions. Disney Plus was completely absent from the list.
I saw a headline, which was hilarious. It said, The Acolyte was the #1 Star Wars streamed show this year. Like, okay, yeah, and we're the most popular show at this time on this channel.
Yeah, we are the best YouTube channel among people who name third-party studio. I think that is objectively true, because pretty sure that's just science. We should put that Acolyte in our banner. That'd be funny as shit. We are the #1 third-party studio podcast.
Welcome to the #1 show at this time from this channel.
Well, and then you had the episode decline too. So that's this chart here. It's a little too small a font to break into the numbers, but what you're seeing is basically every single different colored bar is a different episode, and you can gradually see the viewer count descend episode by episode all the way to the end, where less than half of the original viewership of the pilot made it to the end. So it's pretty rough. I mean, that's just not good. That's bad,
Remember
actually.
these assholes spent the money to put a billboard up in Times Square about the Acolyte after it's canceled.
Yeah, that's right. What else do we got? The Acolyte's failure spells trouble for Headlamp. Even within Disney Plus ecosystem, the Acolyte struggled. It was handedly beaten by Percy Jackson and the Olympians, a series that had only partially counted in Illuminate's 2024 data. Star Wars. And yet still outperforms the Star Wars entry. To make matters worse, the show failed to recover audience from backlash over its lack of cohesion with Star Wars lore and underwhelming storytelling. Underwhelming is probably the nicest word you could possibly use to describe this fucking project's storytelling. That was
I would go with horrendous.
it was atrocious. I'm going to get as creative as I can with that. But yeah, it wasn't.
Percy Jackson, it was only half of the season was in 2024, and it still beat out the Acolyte.
Yeah, and honestly, yeah, I think considering the market,
everything else is fucking animated shit.
Yeah, well, animated shit. It's Star Wars, more Star Wars projects. So what do we have? Star Wars, X-Men, Echo. Echo is Marvel, or I don't remember if Echo was Star Wars or Marvel.
Echo was the Native American with a missing leg in Marvels, and she took out the Kingpin by making him cry.
Got it. So that was Marvel too. Agatha All Along was Marvel. Okay, so you have 3 Marvel projects put up against, what would that be? 6 Star Wars projects and Percy Jackson. I mean, yeah, it's Star Wars just is their least popular IP. It's just doing so
Which is
bad.
Insane.
Yeah. How do you spend so much fucking money acquiring the IP and then do so poorly shepherding it? I think shepherding is the right word. You are responsible for the stake of this IP in this project, and they just do so poorly with it. It's frustrating as shit, man.
Yeah, it's insane that Star Wars, like a cinematic event back in the day, became a TV show on a failing streaming service.
Yeah, that is what. That's exactly right. That's frustrating as shit, man. All in all, to say that Star Wars is still dead. At the beginning of the conversation, it was dead. And at the end of the conversation, it was dead. That's the main takeaway. You have Disney is eventually, I assume, going to put out another Star Wars film with Rey Skywalker. I mean, she'll be 60 by the time the project is done filming. So
yeah, they're still making the rounds with all the writers in Hollywood to see if anyone wants to write the piece of shit.
Yeah, imagine
and the next movie you got coming out is Mandalorian and the Green Fucker, which no one cares about.
We should have leaned into like convincing, like D&D should have been able to get on the Star Wars writing project. They Dan and Deb DB Wise, what was it? Dan something. You know who I'm talking about, the Game of Thrones writers.
Yeah.
We don't have to get into rehash the whole story with Game of Thrones. I'm just saying that since they were up on a short list of names to pull on into Disney to write for Star Wars projects, I would have rather seen almost anything they would put out than what we ended up getting.
That's a sadly accurate statement.
I mean, isn't it? Like, like these two people are singularly responsible for the destruction of Game of Thrones, and I would still rather see what they could have done with Star Wars than what we actually got.
Well, I think the best thing that Disney's put out Star Wars wise is either Mandalorian season 1 or
Andor. I've heard. I keep hearing positive things about Andor, but I'm not convinced that it's.
Andor is way better made, and Mandalorian season 1 was just a episodic kind of just video game almost. Like, we got this new quest.
So, Lesbian Headlamp puts away her projects over on Netflix so that she can continue on with Disney. So we'll see what happens as that whole thing unravels. She's definitely gonna be someone we're gonna have to keep paying attention to. Unfortunately, she's not leaving. So we're gonna have to just keep watching.
This is the part where you really don't like reporting on entertainment news. It's like, and we gotta talk about fucking Star Wars shit in the bed.
Well, I mean, we could always just talk about stories exclusively that we want to talk about. But it's fun to talk about these things. We get a good laugh, and it is good to stay up on the news. So I'm not mad at it. It's just frustrating that you have to keep saying this person's name specifically. Like, it's not. I'm glad we have a nickname.
I don't think we've said it once this podcast. We've just
exactly.
Lesbian Headlamp.
We have a nickname for her, Lesbian Headlamp. All right, guys. I think we're gonna wrap up the stream there. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. If you enjoyed the content, please subscribe to the channel. It's free. It's the best way to help us grow, and we are getting closer and closer to our 500 subscriber milestone. You could help us out a lot by considering doing that. Smash that like button so we can reach out further into the YouTube algorithm. Comment your favorite topic we covered today. Let us know if there's anything we missed that you guys wanted us to cover, and so that we know to cover it or look into it next time. And with all of that out of the way, go tell your stories. Peace out.
Tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life.